Thank you so much. At this point, I would like to invite His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chindes, African Union High Representative for Silencing the Guns, to deliver a closing address.
Thank you very much. I will also stand on the protocols very well established, but allow me to recognize her leadership and the high table, the presidential candidates here with us, the chairman and board members, National Peace Council, the electoral commissioner, the IGP, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am indeed grateful for the opportunity to deliver the closing remarks at this solemn and august signing ceremony. They say success has many parents. It has taking the collaborative efforts of many stakeholders to make today's event happen. But allow me to pay deserved tribute to the National Peace Council and in particular its chairman, Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, and its executive secretary, Mr. George Amu, and to IDEC, in particular its executive director, Dr. Emmanuel Akwete, for their resilience, persistence, and unrelenting efforts. Their shuttle diplomacy among government authorities, political parties, civil society, various embassies, many of whom are here have been acknowledged, the UN, the EU, religious and traditional leaders to make it happen. As a matter of fact, some of us were getting skeptical, even perpetual optimists like myself, but they insisted it had to happen, and here we are, it has happened. The signing of the Peace Pact has become one of the good practices in its enviable electoral process. It is a symbolic gesture by the presidential candidates with profound impact across the length and breadth of the country. It has become also a document that is at the same time an undertaking, a commitment by the leaders of the political parties and independent candidates to uphold the lofty principles of fair play, eschewing violence, allowing the electoral process to proceed uninterrupted, and adhering to the rule of law in resolving any disputes that may arise from the elections. It is also a platform for delivering a strong, clear, unambiguous and powerful message to their party faithful, to followers of candidates and the population at large, that there is no place for violence in democratic elections, no place for guns, cutlasses, knives, stone throwing, or beatings in elections. When the heads of state of Africa adopted the Silencing the Guns initiative, they sought through it to build an Africa at peace with itself and with the rest of the world. They were also desirous of bequeathing to present and future generations a peaceful continent which would put conflicts behind it to focus on urgent issues of underdevelopment, poverty, inequalities, and the pressing and existential challenges of our time. Across the continent, one of the triggers of conflict has been poorly conducted elections. In this regard, and we have heard so many people reiterate it, Ghana has stood out as a shining example, and several sister countries have over the years picked up many best practices of election management systems, technology, innovation, processes and procedures from here. Previous speakers have eloquently spoken about the shared and common responsibility of all stakeholders to ensure credible, open, participative, inclusive elections, whose results no one can have justifiable cause to reject. That is the pathway to peaceful elections. But let me emphasize that with just 9 days to the elections of December 7, the weight of the burden has shifted to the Electoral Commission, to the Ghana Police Service and supporting security agencies, party and other political activists, the media, and the judiciary. There can be no complacency. Ghana's past successes are no guarantee or assurance of current or future performance. Of course, we have been very much reassured from what we have heard from the IG and from the Electoral Commission, and indeed from her ladyship. Nothing should be taken for granted. There should be no room for complacency. The EC must operate transparently to allay the concerns of its critics or skeptics. Security agencies must rise up to high professional standards, be neutral in their operations, and act decisively against those who seek to disrupt the process without selectivity, fear, or favor. The media, especially social media, must avoid misinformation, disinformation, character assassination, fake news, rumors, etc. The judiciary is expected to ensure accountability and to deliver justice impartially and timelessly. Come to play here. Justice must not only be done, but it must be seen to be done. And justice delayed is justice denied. And party leaders and other political operatives or activists must avoid hate speech and actions likely to incite their followers to violence. In 2020, Ghana's otherwise exemplary electoral record suffered a blemish with some deaths in a few constituencies. Once again, the opportunity is presented to prove that Ghana's leadership role on the continent is deserved, that Ghana can deliver violence-free, credible elections. Already, the eyes of the world are on Ghana. Sub-regional, African, international observers have already arrived for the elections. And I can see many familiar faces among the ECOWAS delegations, the African Union delegations, the Commonwealth delegations, and some of the other observers who are already here. We have, of course, the new ECOWAS ambassador who is here. The UN doesn't observe elections, but the RC will assure you that the special representative of West Africa and Sahel will be here. And so we'll have the international community here to accompany us. Let them go back and report about the peaceful, non-violent, exemplary elections they would have observed in Ghana. And here let me just say that I'm also pleased that Electoral Commission has been discussing with media to allow them more access at constituency level so that with their eagle eyes, everyone can see that things are being done in the open, transparently, and without anything to hide. But I want to end on a personal note, and of course I will crave the indulgence of my sister, Nana Akosua, the presidential candidate of CPP, who I know quite well. But I know particularly well Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and former President John Dramani Mahama. And believe me when I tell you that Ghana is blessed to have these two as candidates of the two leading major political parties, the ruling MPP and the opposition NDC. And I say this because I think the candidates will also agree that when we talk of there may be troubles, the idea or the thinking is always that it's likely to come from there. But these are two gentlemen par excellence in their upbringing and their natural disposition, who would not want any Ghanaian to lose his or her life or spill blood for their victory. I would like to thank all the candidates for giving similar pledges, for the patience they have shown, for their participation in today's ceremony, and their pledges to peaceful elections. So let us all live here committed and determined to ensure peaceful elections, non-violence and justice, the theme of today's Peace Pact signing ceremony. And I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, sir. Another round of applause, please. Before I proceed, I would like to make another set of acknowledgements. We have with us the chairman of the Christian Council of Ghana. Thank you, sir. Then we have the General Secretary of the Christian Council of Ghana. Thank you. Vice President of the Pentecostal and Charismatic Council. And immediate past presiding bishop of the Methodist Church. Thank you all so very much for being here. At this point, I would like to invite for the vote of thanks Reverend Dr. Ernest Edujemfi, Chairman of the National Peace Council.
Thank you very much. Also like to recognize the presence of the head of Ghana Immigration, who is also with us. We're grateful to you, sir, for joining us. On behalf of the Governing Board of the National Peace Council, His Excellency Leadership, Presidential Candidates, we want to say a big thank you to all of you for making time to be with us this evening. For many of us, it was at a very short notice. Some people even got their invitation for making it to be with us. And members of the security agencies, members of the diplomatic corps, we are indeed very, very grateful to all of you. And especially for your support and sponsorship, we want to acknowledge the European Union, the USAID, the United Nations, the British High Commission, the Netherlands Embassy, the Catholic Relief Services, and the International Republican Institute. These are institutions within the diplomatic community who have been behind us and helping us to make sure that things, it takes patience, it takes time, it takes diplomacy. And therefore, sometimes we appeal to the media, be patient with us. When you don't know what is going on, just be patient. Gradually, we'll pull it through. We are grateful to the members of the board who were here last week. Some of them had to travel, go back to their positions and come back last night. Some of them came this morning. We are indeed grateful, members of the Peace Council board, for helping us. Let me also acknowledge the ministers and former ministers who were here, members of parliament, our distinguished election observers, those who've left their country to be here. Some have been here for those who've left their country to be here. Some have been here for some time now. Others are coming. In the coming week, we'll be seeing a lot more of them. We're coming in the coming week, we'll be seeing a lot more of them. We are indeed grateful. Thank you to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say a big thank you to everyone. The Norwegian acknowledge the staff of the National Peace Council. It's been a hectic job. Some of them were on the field doing peace pacts in the constituencies. Some arrived last night, others this morning. There are also some others who are on the field now doing other peace pacts in various constituencies. We are indeed grateful for the sacrifices that you are making for this country to be as peaceful as possible. May the Lord bless all of you for making time for Mother Ghana. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Before I call for the closing prayer, I have just a short word to say on behalf of the regular people of Ghana. Dear President, I know you are not here, but we look forward to seeing you join your predecessors to leave a legacy of contributing to the success of the Fourth Republic. All Ghanaians, my fellow Ghanaians, please resist the temptation to engage in any act of violence. Use your thumbprint, not violence, to decide the outcome of the elections. Political parties, please respect the will of the people.